It's a beautiful view.
It is. So, you're the king now, Graham Goodbrother.
Aye.
See. What
And I'm
happened to the
Kaylee
horse?
Goodbrother.
Well, in all honesty, we don't really know much. All I know is, was a letter on his desk, and the next thing I know, I look out the window and the fleet's sailing off. I'm assuming he's, tracking down his brother, but I couldn't be honest with you as to what it was.
So you don't expect him to ever return then?
I do not.
He's been gone for several years now.
Interesting.
Well, by a point of law, it wouldn't matter if he did. The council has chosen Graham here to lead His Grace. If he did return, and he had no claim to the throne, things are different here than you may be used to.
Different how?
Aye.
Bloodlines, as it is on the mainland, are well, they carry less weight here. The captains and the council choose their king, and that is the king until one is replaced.
So, from my understanding, you retained everything that the Horrors had acquired.
Aye. I'd like to, keep this alliance that we were working on with you.
Well, the terms of that alliance, in my opinion, were quite unfair.
In all honesty, I'm not gonna make your kid try to marry mine. That whole... I never understood that anyway.
And as for Casterly, where do they stand?
They will remain a lord and lady. And they will continue to receive protection from the Iron House.
And they
Well,
are
Graham, you
still
should-
supposed to be building the Citadel as well and remain neutral.
Indeed. You should both know that that was that choice. You should know what happened that night. When the Cleganes came to Winterfell, it was hardly a fight. In fact, it was more of a slaughter. But before one of them fell, they managed to kill a citizen of the Vale. I wanna ask you how you think my relations with the Vale stand after returning, having made an alliance with the Isles that stole the kingdom that they fought for.
I'd say probably not too well, but again, I'm not too happy with the Vale right now either. Yes, Kingstock, I'd like to introduce you to, according to one of the citizens, Queen Whore.
Yes, apparently I'm a whore.
Oh? And how is that?
Oh, that's a whore with a W, not with an H. According to rumor, obviously not true.
And apparently if I can get royalty, as can King Severin, then anybody should be able to. So says one of their knights.
I am quite disturbed by my relations with the Vale. How Stark and Aaron have been closely intertwined over the centuries. Personally, it leaves an incredibly bad taste in my mouth, the condition of things. Do you know what the North wanted more than anything last summer?
Probably the same thing we want. Well, at least I want. To be left alone.
Indeed. That was what we wanted. If I asked you to relinquish your control over Casterly Rock and have the reins kneel to me, would you agree to these terms?
That is something I'd have to speak with my council about.
See, I have a council myself. And they made a decision. So we can make this quite plain. You can relinquish control of Casterly Rock. The rightful owners, people that bled, fought, and died for it, or you can die for it.
Knew that was coming.
Same.
Yeah. Stark, can I get one thing straight?
Sure,
You're a man of your word, yes?
I very much am.
Well, I know, speaking as just a citizen, Lord Rain pledged his alliance and oath towards the Isles, not towards the king, but towards the land, and in return the Isles pledged to protect. Would it be wrong for them to become an oath breaker and break those?
There wouldn't be an oath to protect if the Isles no longer belonged to them, would it? They'd still be keeping their oath.
And the land will still be here.
It'll just be under new rulership.
Oh well, pardon me, I'm a bit confused. Who do you propose would take over Casterly? If
Oh, Lucifer Rain can stay in Casterly. No problem with him. He only did what he had to do. He only followed the person that ended up with Casterly.
well,
Now,
I
I know
think
for a fact I can
I
kill
may be
him
missing a bit of this puzzle.
if I want to. But
My
everyone
understanding
here
is that
subject to
King
perma.
Hoare and yourself were
Because all I have to do is hit
we're in
him twice
agreement
and he's
with,
off that cliff.
with all this, and I'm not sure what's changed.
What changed was the night after the war, I, to the Vale, find out that the only person that died was a person that pledged their allegiance to fight by Winterfell's side, to take Casterly Rock. And in the end, we did not end up with control of Casterly Rock. Is my issue. I very much plan to fix my alliance with the Vale. But, unfortunately, to do that, Casterly Rock. And it would seem, in order to get a very simple decision, I would need to speak to a council. Fortunately, I've waited 10 years. I'm not going to wait for a council decision.
Can I ask you something?
Free.
You're wanting to fix an alliance with, let me get this straight, they're what, 12 years old?
Apparently.
In all honesty, I was under the impression that both you and the Owls would protect Casterly. That we were just there as the front runner for the defense.
I mean, does it look like I need the Isles as a front runner for my defense?
Considering you're half a continent away, if wildlings were to attack, how quick could your men be there?
Have you not
I don't know.
came to the north lately?
Like we said, we have two strongholds holding the walls. The
Aye, I've
Umbers,
seen
the
them.
West Hearth, and the Dreadfort.
It doesn't matter how many people you have if they're half a continent away. Your fastest horses will be nothing in compared to how quick we could be there. Now, Casterly was to remain neutral and build the Citadel as to the original agreement.
Can I chime in and say something? You're expecting to defend Castle against wildlings, however, how many fighters have you got here? Not that many. I'm pretty sure you'd get floored.
Well, I just don't. I don't I don't understand what the disagreement is. I was there.
There's no
at
disagreement,
that
Maester.
meeting.
The point
there
is,
seems to be
just
a
Kingstock
disagreement.
here. Kingstock feels like he lost, even though technically he got what he wanted. But just because he doesn't have the land, he wants it. That is what he's wanting. Am
Well,
I
my
wrong there,
understanding
Kingstock?
is
You want Casterly to prove that you got what you wanted out of the war. To prove that that Winterfell held up its end of the deal with the Vale.
Truly, the only reason I want it is to prove the alliance true with the Vale. But not just the Vale. The Vale weren't the only people that sacrificed for the scum of the island to step in at the last moment and claim it as their victory. They did not fight. They did not bleed. They hadn't been betrayed by their own citizens. North has.
Look, Kingstock, you can have Casterly. To be honest with you, I was only keeping it because Danny's family lived there. I could have cared 2 shits less about the place.
I'm glad we're in agreement about that.
All I want is for the people of the Isles to be left alone.
I can agree to that too.
But we hold true to our oaths as well. So that was something that was put into place. We were following it.
Aye. I'm honor bound to keep Casterly under our protection. But if you want it, you can have it. That's less stress off my back.
Yes, I can promise that the people of Casterly Rock, yeah, Isles will be safe.
Here comes our execution.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I also am true to
Well-
my oaths. You should know that. Every single person standing here expects something of me this evening. So, if you gentlemen would fulfill your oaths, please.
Of course, my king.
Jump
One
off.
at a time. One at a time.
Stop.
She jumped.